Hello there everybody and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. Last episode we had a weird vision where a dead hanging dwarf lady spoke to us in our dreams, and we've been hinted that we need to go speak to her, but first of all,
well met, friend.
Let's speak to Pasca. Should we see if there's anything that we've got for sale? We might be able to actually get rid of some of our stash here because we've got a lot of stuff. So let's get rid of some of this. Crossbow. We'll get rid of the crossbow as well. There's a lot of stuff here that I'm not really going to use, being a ranger and all. Armor. If there was something that gave us a DR, damage reduction of what we've got currently, and a quicker recovery speed, that'd be nice, because the recovery speed stat is basically the sort of recovery animation from when you do an attack. Get rid of that. We'll keep those helmets just for giggles. Here we can actually build another adventurer. I've only got 256 gold, so I don't really want to do that. Oh, party management? No. Okay, so I just traded all that in, and we've actually got 800. No, I don't want to particularly buy anything. Let's see if there's anything else that we can do in here. Oh, in fact, let's go speak to this chap here, Tenfrith, the guy that we saved last time. Ah, it's you, my saviour! He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around you. It's so good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. A savoury pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. Huh. Okay, did we get a pie? No. Maybe it's a recipe. Ooh. I don't know. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's only a pie. I've never been big in consumables. We'll pinch this ale though whilst we're at it. Okay, is there anyone else that we need to speak to in here? Villager. Pasca. No. Right, let's head out. And we'll go speak to the hanging dwarf lady. Okay.
I shall.
So she is up here, I believe. Yep, by the tree. Oh, she's glowing. Okay, let's speak to her. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bruff that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, torn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to another when the breeze shifts. Wow. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it. You feel somehow that you can reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Well, let's reach out. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with a new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt in your mind, a ringing electrical surge of images, words, and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with the eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in the wind, You no longer feel... swinging in the wind. You no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so. She smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
What? Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy, even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
Okay, how are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
Okay, I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
Okay.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Okay.
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What did you mean when all goes well? Oh, nothing. I thought you were going to say something again. Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping and other difficulties. She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprout from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Meerwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Kadnua. Okay, let's ask about the Bayawak.
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Okay.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now. Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No.
Okay. Well,
A
let's...
very small few resist Remergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Okay, let's say farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldera closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into a vision from some unknown place of waiting. Aloth looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. Yes, I'm fine. He folds his arms. That's good to know. I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about? I'm a watcher. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that's interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expect that's why you survived the bivouac, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're travelling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? Oh, that they're rare, and that they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions. He coughs, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on. Okay.
17 and a half.
17 and a half. A smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-coloured hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held in his lips with one meaty hand. He looks at you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Okay. Aloth frowns. Is that what you do for fun? Is that what people do for fun round here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What was that about a dwarf?
You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you for a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
I've been out of sorts lately. Of course, we all go through our bad days when we stand perfectly still and stare at corpses for a while without blinking. He winks. Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
Okay. You think you're going to be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fellow decides that he's the living incarnation of Aorthus, overthrows Reed Ceres, marches in on Direwood. So we give him a Direwoodian hello. Okay. I've got other questions. What does your town have against
Pick
you?
the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts.
I can imagine.
My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back.
Right.
After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
Okay.
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Aloth glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Wieldwin's legacy started with Wieldwin. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Some place called Signua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if I ever heard
All right,
one.
Then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Okay. He tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Let's get going. Sweet. So we've got a tank in the party, it looks like. Let's have a look at what he is, who he does, that sort of stuff. So he's a level 3 fighter. What gear has he got? Nice, he's got a shield and a sword. Do we have anything that he could benefit from? Nope, shield's exactly the same. Armour. His armour's exactly the same as well. Okay, well.
Yes.
Let's see if there's anything else in the actual town where we could go. Ingrid's house. Black Hammer Smithery. Let's go over here. Let's keep it at fast mode. There's been a lot of talk in this episode. First 20 minutes. Bloody hell, 20 minutes of talking. Apologies. Okay, let's go into the blacksmith. Is there anything we could possibly purchase? This guy. Didn't mean to come all the way around. This Amora man is of an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is dusky blue, of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscle. Small ears frame a square, jawed face coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. He offers you a broad smile as you approach. Welcome! You're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? Is this your shop? That it is. I've been here for nearly 20 years, seen all manner of things over the years. Good luck and bad. But the Black Hammer Smithery remains. Okay, let's see what he's got for sale. Ooh. Oh, I didn't mean to buy that. No. Wow, that actually cost 6,000. Crap. We actually just sold all our armor, didn't we? Did. We've got the hoods and stuff. I wonder if there's anything that we could possibly... I don't think we've got any. We've got no money. But it's nice to see exactly sort of the items that we're going to be getting. 15 defense, engaging, damage reduction. Oh, sweet. So obviously the highlighted versions here show that they've been enchanted or something. Cool. Nice. Well, let's... is there anything we could possibly pinch? The red hand means that we're going to be stealing, so we don't want to steal anything. So let's not bother. Okay. We can come back there later on. So... is there anywhere else where I think we could go? Windmill. Let's head up towards the windmill. Oh, we can actually level up as well. Brilliant. Okay, so I think what we want to do is level up. We'll get an extra rank in stealth. And honestly, I'm thinking about creating a rogue. So mechanics we can just not bother with now. Max fatigue. I think we'll put one in survival. Help with consumables more. No. We're already at 20%. Right, okay, there we go. Athletics. Done. Next. Okay, so swift aim. Instant. It's a modal thing. It times our attack speed by 1.2 and reload speed, but lowers our accuracy. Marked praise once per encounter. Alright, okay, so we do an extra 20 damage to target. The companion gets that bonus damage as well. Predatory sense. Passive damage affects affected by damage over time. Vicious aim instant. User rate of fire and reload speed. Ranged accuracy and ranged damage. That's modal. There's no actual minus to that. By lowering the attack and reload rate. Oh, right, okay. Well, I don't think we're going to get that one. Let's go for Marked Prey. I think that's pretty cool. It'll increase our overall damage over time, and Eloth leveled up as well. Law is pretty decked out with Law already. Let's put some into athletics. Increased fatigue. Okay, we can actually look at spells now. Brilliant. What have we got? Ray of Fire. 5 meter range creates a ray of flame between the caster and the target, inflicting burn damage. Rolling flame. Oh wow, a fireball. That's pretty sweet. These are all really pretty. Ghost Blade. Let's have a look. Combusting Wounds. AoE damage over time. I don't particularly want AoE, I want some direct damage. It's got a radius on it. Let's go for Ray of Fire. Oh, we can actually pick 2 spells. Brilliant. Okay, so what's Necrotic Lance? That doesn't have AoE. That'll do. And Ray of Fire is a continual burn. That seems pretty nice. Let's get those 2. Brilliant. So done. Well, guys, the video's actually been 23 minutes long. I think... Okay. I was going to end it, but... we know there's more grain in their trumble. We won't settle for scraps whilst you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shouting emerges from inside the hill. The first of you drunkards comes through that door, gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swainer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads, but we'll be back. Trumbull. Oh, but we'll be back, Trumbull. And we'll have fair prices, or by flame, we'll have a reckoning. Okay, so there seems to be some disruption here. You know what? Let's do this. See if we can get a bit of conversation out of the way. In this episode, at least. An elven man stands before you. His relatively stocky build suggests a life of labour. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises his club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on. I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates and then lowers the club. Wait, I know you. You just came into town, right? Don't tell me Swin has already got his claws into you. God, that's all I need. What's all this ruckus outside? Trumbull shakes his head. Where to begin? Swin has whipped them into a froth, going on about the grain stores, claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west-hand side of town for ale, and Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on your way into town. The crop's blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers, Trumbull gestures to his sacks and containers, it's gone, rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely enough good grain to go around. Swainer's howling after things that he has no right for. Maybe I ought to go and have a talk with Swainer then. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore, but maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt if you can go convince him.
Yes?
Let's go find him. He's in the inn. Let's go and find him. We'll speak to him. This is going to be a bit longer, but he's going to get a nice chunk of conversation sections out of the initial part of the series. So let's run down and go in here. I hope we don't have to fight him. I don't want to kill someone. Have a look. So where is he? Swainer, there he is. Let's go have a chat.
Greetings.
Don't know who you are and don't much care. Keep walking, we're not here to chat with foreigners. Aloth narrows his eyes. Careful, he's got good hearing, hasn't he? Well, I suppose he's an elf. Careful, looks like they're cut from the same cloth as the rowdies who attacked me. He wrinkles his nose. Smells like it too. Trumbull says you've been threatening his family. Oh, I bet he has. All nobility, that Trumbull. 2 big strong kids, purest soul in all the Gilded Vale. The dwarf sneers. Coward sending out messages to handle his business. Well, you can go and tell him we haven't had a solid meal in days on account of him, and we can't afford a good drink on account of him. But we don't want to be bullied by some foreigner on account of him. Okay, we've actually got a fair few options here. Dexterity, set a blade to his neck. You want to try that one again? Bloody hell. Let's try and be nice. What if I buy you all a round of drinks? Will you talk to me? Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and might be I'll free up trading words. Okay. Whatever that means. Let's go speak to Pesca. I'm guessing she's the bar lady. Yep. I'd like to buy a round for the fine fellows over there. Fine fellows, are you having me on? Any more fighting and I'll ban Swainer from this inn entirely, the innkeeper frowns. Until then, it's 6 copper pieces for the lot. Let's say, can't we skip payment? It's for a good cause. Oh no, you don't. I've been fooled often enough. Giving them a jolly evening's worth is hardly worth a good cause, Pesca laughs. However, they convinced you, believe me. However they convince you, believe me, it's not worth the copper pieces. Alright, well, I don't think we actually paid for it, so...
Greetings.
I brought drinks. Hey, so you have, by the flame. I never thought I'd be so happy for a mug of the Black Hound shit beer. That sounds like nice beer. Gods, that's good. Alright then, you've got my attention. What is it you've got to say that's worth a round of drinks? Look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. You have him up against the wall. Maybe you could ask for some of the other villagers for help. Swainer eyes you for longer moments, drinking deep from his mug. Then he sighs. You're right. Things go on like they are, and we're just going to end up hanging from the tree out there. He looks at his comrades. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Don't know what we'll do now with the crops failing. Haven't got another trade to speak of. I think Pasca needs a hand around the inn. Well, after what she said, my man, I don't think she's going to be hiring you. Okay, let's go and end this quest quickly. Video is nearing half an hour. The windmill. Let's go, go, go! Fast mode still active. Yeah, I've never done a game like this before, so I mean, I am interested in all the dialogue and stuff, but I don't know if you guys are, so I'll go over the main sections that I think's needed, and if there seems to be anything that we can just skip, we'll skip it. Okay, so let's speak to Trumbull here.
Good day, stranger.
Trumbull nods a curt greeting. You're back. Have you any luck with Swainer? I spoke to Swainer. Trumbull takes a deep breath. And what did he say? I've convinced him to leave your family in peace. Why, really? That's great news. I wasn't sure you'd get through to him. They're out of their minds with drink half the time. I owe you a great debt. Here. He pulls a coin purse from his hip and pushes it towards you. Today's earnings to show my appreciation, and you can be sure I'll let everyone in town know what you've done for me. Glad to help. Now we stand a chance of getting through the year, Trumbull smiles broadly. All thanks to you. Safe travels, friend. Cool. Brilliant. Okay, let's leave, and let's just have a look at what we want to do next. So we press J for journal, quests. Tasks we've completed. The Old Watcher, this is the main quest. We've got to travel to Sade Newer. And we've actually got Ada, who wants to go to speak to Maywald, who's in Sade Newer as well. I think that might be next on the agenda. Guys, I hope you've had a good time. If so, please leave a like. And if you want to see more, please press that subscribe button. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have. See you, bye, everybody. If there was something that gave us a DR, damage reduction of what we've got currently, and a quicker recovery speed, that'd be nice. Because the recovery speed stat is basically the sort of recovery animation from when you do an attack. Get rid of that. We'll keep those helmets just for giggles. Here we can actually build another adventurer. I've only got 256 gold, so I don't really want to do that. Oh, party management? No. Okay, so I just traded all that in, and we've actually got 800. No, I don't want to particularly buy anything. Let's see if there's anything else that we can do in here. Oh, in fact, let's go speak to this chap here, Tenfrith, the guy that we saved last time. Ah, it's you, my saviour! He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around you. It's so good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. A savoury pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. Huh. Okay, did we get a pie? No. Maybe it's a recipe. Ooh. I don't know. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's only a pie. I've never been big in consumables. We'll pinch this ale though whilst we're at it. Okay, is there anyone else that we need to speak to in here? Villager... Asker? No. Right, let's head out. And we'll go speak to the Hanging Dwarf Lady. Okay.
I shall.
So she is up here, I believe. Yep, by the tree. Oh, she's glowing. Okay, let's speak to her. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bruff that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, torn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to another when the breeze shifts. Wow. Hello there everybody and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. Last episode we had a weird vision where a dead hanging dwarf lady spoke to us in our dreams, and we've been hinted that we need to go speak to her, but first of all,
Well met, friend.
let's speak to Pasca. Should we see if there's anything that we've got for sale? We might be able to actually get rid of some of our stash here, because we've got a lot of stuff. So let's get rid of some of this. Crossbow. We'll get rid of the crossbow as well. There's a lot of stuff here that I'm not really going to use, being a ranger and all. Armor.